It's exciting. It's pretty fast paced, the last couple of weeks for me. It's been fun to see JJ and interact with him and kind of be a part of what they've been doing here, this whole off season. And it's a bummer, obviously, what happened to him. Been there more times than I care to admit, but it's been fun to see how he's responded already, and exciting for me. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a couple years since I played in a game like this with real consequences, so really excited for it.
You've been through the injury process. What's something that you think a young quarterback like JJ is going through right now?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to him quite a bit when he found out, and I found out just before y'all found out the other day, so I knew he was banged up a little after the game, didn't know to what extent, but I just told him, hey, the career's long, and this might feel like, so much going on right now, but I just told him, hey, stay the course. Just reminding him, like, hey, trust your faith. God's got a plan. Like, he's writing that story, and he's been great. He's in good spirits, and hopefully he gets better soon.
Carson, does anything like this in your career compared to what you're going through this week?
Not really, no. It's very different. I'm not gonna lie. It's exciting though. It was fun to go out there and sit through install meetings, knowing this is a chance personally that it's been a couple years since I've had like I said, a meaningful start, and so I've been staying ready behind the scenes, doing whatever I can, and like I said, it's been fast paced, just trying to learn this offense, learn these guys, all the things. But so to answer your question, it is quite a bit different, but at the same time, once we went out there and practiced, it was a Wednesday practice, and I kind of fell right back into that same routine I've had for 10 years now.
How ready are you?
I feel great. Physically, I feel great. Mentally, I feel like in a good spot. The coaches have done a great job just helping me try and grasp this as quick as I can. And I'm, that was one of my probably favorite things just about getting the chance to sign here a couple weeks ago, is just knowing from afar the type of game plans Coach O'Connell puts together, the way he calls plays. I've just really respected and appreciated and admired that from afar. So really excited to see it in action, this Sunday.
Along those lines, like, were you watching a couple years ago when Josh Dobbs, I think, came in here, on a week and seemed to be able to get through a game, and there's been a few other occasions like that as well?
Yeah, no, I mean, you see as much as you can see around the league, but definitely noticed that a couple years ago. So, that gives me optimism, as well as a lot of other reasons to give me optimism as well. But no, obviously it's been done, and hats off to those guys that have done it and done it well. So yeah, hopefully we can have a good showing this Sunday.
From your point of view, what makes Kevin O'Connell such a mastermind at getting quarterbacks ready to play in such a short amount of time?
Yeah, I'm still learning that, to be honest. I mean, I've been here for 3 weeks, so I'm still learning the ins and outs of this offense, how he sees the game, what, even just from play calling within a game, all the things. And so I've been around some really good coaches in my career this far, and I'm excited to kind of keep seeing how this unfolds with him calling the plays. But like I said, from afar, something I've respected for a while, and now seeing the inner workings, it's been pretty cool, and hopefully we can find some success.
How is the 16 6 years shaped?
Yeah, it sounds crazy when you say that. No, it's definitely given me a different perspective, going from being a starter, just traded, cut, all the things, then being a backup the last 2 years behind some, future Hall of Fame quarterbacks, getting to see it done at a very high level has given me some perspective. Also just the perspective of not taking this for granted. You never know when your next chance is going to be in this league. The league's hard. 2 years ago, I was at home until mid-November. It's not something I want to take lightly or take for granted. So I've definitely got a lot of perspective, both from, physically seeing how it's done, but also just the mental side of, being appreciative and not wasting any opportunity.
Carson, you mentioned a couple times learning this scheme and trying to pick up the best. Having gone through this situation 6 different times where you're learning this scheme, does that make it easier this time?
Probably. I mean, running the same playbook for 5 years and similar in the 6th, definitely. I think had I jumped to this point at that juncture, it would have been a little different. But having to find ways to learn quick the last couple stops, sure, I think that could help. There's a lot of similarity, but not at the same time. And so just understanding football as a whole and different systems has definitely helped for sure in these last crash course these last couple of weeks.
Carson, what can experience, what's going on in the offense, what can experience bring to this situation that, no offense to JJ, but he doesn't have experience.
For sure.
You've got almost 100 games. What can you bring that he
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. You know, I was young once too, and you know, bullets are flying, and there's a lot of things going on back there. And I've just loved seeing how he's handled himself mentally through the ups and downs of just the 2 games. I'm not going to lie; it's been fun to see his sideline, you know, composure and all the things. And so, you know, experiences. It is what it is, you know. It's some you see kids come in and you know, find a lot of success and kind of see the game differently. And now I've seen the game from a lot of different lenses now. So I'm confident and optimistic that helps and pays off, and can keep the chains moving, so to speak. But we'll see how it goes on Sunday.
Carson, did anything of the last 2 years being with those 2 staffs and watching those 2 quarterbacks, did you take anything from their process that you feel like you brought back from it?
Yes and no. I think without a doubt, just seeing their process, but also just seeing their process like pre-snap, post-snap, you know, not so much like through the week. Like I think everybody's got kind of their own routine, so to speak, but just seeing how they go about play calls and understanding the defense and processing quickly. You know, Matthew and Pat are as good as it gets at their position and couldn't play the game much differently, to be honest. And the offenses are very different too. So I feel like I gleaned a lot from both in a very different way that I think hopefully I can utilize, you know, this Sunday. And super appreciative of those guys and just how I was able to learn and kind of get to know those guys both on and off the field. So hopefully that'll pay off.
Last few for Carson. This opportunity, like, did you think this type of opportunity would ever come through your head?
That's a big question, very loaded question, and it's one that I think mentally I'm a human being. Like it's hard to not have those thoughts, but at the same time, when they come, it's one of those things I try not to think too futuristically, you know, and just be where I'm at, be grateful for the opportunity at hand, not try and put too much pressure on myself, but not take it for granted either. And so yes, it's a very human kind of thing to dwell on and think about, but you know, that's where my faith comes in, and I just trust, okay, God's got the plan, he's writing the story, and I'm just trying to live it out as obedient as I can, and here we are.
Carson, kind of random, but that growth spurt in high school, how did that change the trajectory of your life, your career, and
well,
did you think it was going to come?
It went up. Trajectory went up. It went up fast. Yeah, I didn't know. I just remember praying, God, if you get me to 6 feet, that would be terrific when I was 5'8" as a freshman, and then we just kept going. So, yeah, everybody's got their own journey. That's the unique part, and so God's writing mine differently than other people, but yeah, definitely was kind of a wild time growing up. Those growing pains were real. Shout out to my parents for new clothes, shoes, all the things. Every 2 weeks it seemed like. But yeah, it's cool just to kind of, even being here, I would say, you know, I grew up rooting for this team. You know, it's one of those things you play long enough and you can kind of forget about those things because it's football. You're bouncing around teams, but being here, I kind of alluded to it when I first got here, just how cool it is for me to know, you know, I used to cheer for the guys that I'm walking down the hallway seeing. Used to come to the Metrodome and I was waving the towel. I was, you know, part of the skull chants, all the things. And so running out of that tunnel this week will probably hit me a little bit different in a really cool, kind of surreal way. So I'm excited for that.
Carson, I wanted to ask kind of along those lines because you had talked about when you first came here, you know, your family being excited and stuff. Like, I know it's a unique situation and things are moving quickly, but is your family excited? Like, are
very
going to grab tickets?
Very
Class?
yes, very. Believe it or not, my family was already planning to come. So now now there's even more coming. So, but yeah, everybody's pretty excited. Again, you never wish for injuries in those capacities, but just the way this is happening to get a chance, team I grew up for, close to home, all the things. Yeah, everybody's excited for the chance.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.